Good afternoon and welcome to Joe Lee Griffin Field as we get set for the third and final game of a three-game series between the visiting Eastern Michigan Eagles and the Samford Bulldogs. Hello everybody, I'm John McAfee, set to bring you all of today's action beginning with our Regions pregame show. Samford has already secured a series victory after winning the first two contests this weekend. It was yet another strong offensive showing by the Bulldogs in yesterday's 7-3 win. TJ Dixon, Kevin Williams, Austin Edens, Ayrton Schaefer, and Taylor Garris each recorded multi-hit games, with Dixon driving in 3 runs, Edens and Williams both homering, Schaefer reaching base in all 4 plate appearances, and Garris going 3 for 3. And on the mound, Jesse McCord earned the win for Samford in what was arguably his strongest start of the season, allowing 2 earned runs on 4 hits over 6 innings while striking out 6 and walking none. Eastern Michigan scratched out 9 hits in the contest, including a solo home run from John Montgomery, but left 6 runners on base. They began the 9th inning with 4 consecutive singles yesterday against Bulldogs reliever Aaron Baldwin to cut the lead to 7-3 and load the bases with nobody out. But Samford closer Wyatt Burns entered and helped turn a slick 1-2-3 double play before striking out Robert Iacobelli to end the game for his 8th save of the season. Today, the Bulldogs will look for the sweep behind Stephen Jones, while the Eagles will look to salvage a game of the series behind junior righty Brent Matson. We'll take a quick break for the national anthem and be back with starting lineups and first pitch. You're watching Samford Baseball on YouTube Live, presented by the Samford Sports Network.
The road to Omaha begins in Greenville, South Carolina. The Southern Conference Baseball Tournament comes to Fluor Field May 23rd through 28th. Enjoy some great college baseball with a trip to the NCAAs on the line in a city the New York Times calls one of the top places to go in 2017. Get your tickets to the tournament and book your rooms in that Greenville today. Experience the games. Explore the city.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Just moments away from first pitch here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. We'll take a look at the starting lineups presented by America's First Federal Credit Union. For Eastern Michigan, a little bit of a different looking lineup this afternoon. Leading off, playing left field, Mike Metashevsky, so he's back in the lineup after the day off yesterday. Marquise Gill in the second hole again, but he shifts defensively from shortstop over to third base. John Montgomery returns as the designated hitter in the 3 spot, and Jordan Peterson batting cleanup in right field. Jeremy Stidham in the 5-hole catching today. He played center field in the first game. He's behind the plate today. Zachary Owings at first base batting 6th. Max Schumann gets his first start of the series at shortstop. Drake Peggs returns in the 8-hole playing second base, and Drake Lubin in center field in the 9-hole. Starting pitcher for Samford, Stephen Jones, making his 5th start of the season. He's 1-1, 7.47 ERA, 13 earned runs in 15 and 2/3 innings. It's been a little bit of a difficult start to the season for Stephen Jones as he begins this game with a strike to Mike Metashevsky. Jones has had some walk issues, 14 and 15 and 2/3 innings pitched. 283 batting average against. Pitching so far in the series for Samford has been excellent. Mikhail Kazanov, 8 innings on Friday night. That one's in there for a called strike 2 to make the count 1-2. Last night, Jesse McCord earned the win with 6 strong innings, allowing 2 runs. He struck out 6 and walked none, so a very good start for McCord. Probably his best start of the season so far. Jones delivers the 1-2 in there for a called strike 3, and that's how this game gets started. Stephen Jones strikes out Mike Metashevsky looking. So Marquise Gill making his 3rd consecutive start of the series, but today he's over at third base. He's played shortstop the first 2 games. Defensive alignment for Samford looks pretty similar. Outfield left to right is Kevin Williams Jr., TJ Dixon, and Jordan Fusey. As this one is fouled off. Left side of the infield, Taylor Garris at third base, Brandon Fryman at short, and right side of the infield, Troy Dixon at second, and Austin Edens at first. Anthony Mulrine remains behind the plate to catch Stephen Jones. Samford looking for the sweep after a tight 4-3 walk-off victory on Friday, followed by a 7-3 victory yesterday. Sun is shining right now, about 55 or so degrees, as we had first pitch right at 12 noon. The big swing and a miss from Marquise Gill, and Jones ahead in the count 1-2. The pitching staff of the Bulldogs has been very efficient so far this week, and they have been getting ahead of hitters consistently, throwing first pitch strikes. This one has a check swing from Gill, but foul towards the Samford dugout. One and 2 to Gill. A little bit low, making the count 2-2. And Gill works the count full. Gill on the season, 254. Yesterday he was 2 for 4. He was the only Eagles player in that contest to record a multi-hit game as he fouls one out of play to the right side. Going to hit the roof of the Pete Hanna Center. Bounce into the bushes. Four for 8 in this series is Marquise Gill, and he takes one outside and he draws a 1-out walk. The first 2 games of this series have been played at a very quick pace. Friday night's game was about 2 hours, 17 minutes. Yesterday was 2:26. Today there might be some control issues. Both starting pitchers walk a handful of batters. As I said, 14, make it 15 now on the season for Stephen Jones in just 16 innings pitched. And Brett Mattson has had his share of command issues as well. We'll talk more about him when he's out on the mound and Samford's offense steps to the plate in the bottom half of the inning. So Jones delivers a swinging strike to John Montgomery. Montgomery really the power threat in this lineup. He hit one out to right center yesterday for his 3rd home run of the season. As a team, the Eagles only have 4 home runs, and Montgomery is responsible for 3 of them. And another big swing and a miss from Montgomery there, and Jones ahead of Montgomery 0-2. The man on deck, Jordan Peterson, has the only other home run for this Eastern Michigan team. So not a lot of home run power, but if someone's going to hit one out, it's probably this guy at the plate right here. Jones ahead 0-2, delivers the 0-2 pitch just a little bit outside, making the count 1-2. Montgomery's hitting .295. Just 1 for 7 in the series, and of course that hit was the home run that he hit in yesterday afternoon's contest. Skies this one high into foul territory. On the run is Taylor Garris. Calling him off is Brandon Fryman, and making a nice catch over the shoulder is Fryman to record the second out here in the top of the first. Garris was over there. It was a little bit over his head, but Fryman making a long run from deep in the hole to make a nice over-the-shoulder catch in foul territory. So Jordan Peterson steps to the plate. Peterson has started all 3 games in the cleanup spot. He's also played right field in all 3 games. He's 2 for 7 so far in the series. Overall batting average for Peterson sitting at .259 right now, 14 for 54. Has not been a lot of offensive firepower for the Eagles in this series. Taking off is Gill. Throw from Mulrine bounces in the dirt. Dixon fields it cleanly but cannot apply the tag in time. So Marquise Gill in scoring position as he steals second base. Eastern Michigan has left a handful of runners on base this series. They left 6 on yesterday, including a couple in the 9th inning. Jones sets and delivers the 2-0 pitch. This one hit down the right field line, but foul towards the tarp over the brick wall down the right field line. Yesterday, the Eagles recorded 4 consecutive singles to start the 9th inning against Bulldogs reliever Aaron Baldwin. That cut the lead to 7-3, and the Eagles had the bases loaded with nobody out with a tying run at the plate. And Bulldogs closer Wyatt Burns came in and induced a very slick double play that went 1-2-3, and then followed that up with a strikeout to record his 8th save of the season. Great performance by Wyatt Burns there. He's been great all season, and can't ask for a better performance than that, coming into a bases loaded, no out situation and not allowing any of those inherited runners to come across and score. This one is hit hard on the ground. Fryman's got it on a hop, fires across to Edens in time, and that'll do it for the Eagles here in the top of the first. So Samford's offense will come to the plate for the first time today, and Brett Mattson, the junior righty for Eastern Michigan, will step to the mound for the first time. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
This is Lauren. These are her first roommates, her first car, and her very first health insurance plan, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. Even at her age, she's not taking her health for granted. Her affordable health plan includes a routine annual checkup, apps, and programs that fit her lifestyle. Lauren may be just starting out, but with us, she's already got peace of mind. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you for the first time.
These are the student athletes. This is where they train. These are their homes. This is where they become Rhodes Scholars and academic All-Americans. These are the athletes they've always admired. This is where champions are crowned and moments are made. This is the Southern Conference.
Samford comes to the plate for the first time this afternoon after a scoreless top of the first for Eastern Michigan. We'll take a look at the Samford Bulldogs starting lineup on this Sunday afternoon. It looks very similar to what we've seen through the first 2 games of this series. Batting first and playing center field, T.J. Dixon. Brandon Fryman in the 2-hole. Playing shortstop, Kevin Williams Jr. bats third and plays left. Austin Edens in the cleanup spot at first base. Troy Dixon at second base batting 5th. Anthony Mulrine catching and batting 6th. Jordan Fusey in right field batting 7th. Ryan Crockett gets a start at designated hitter batting 8th. And Taylor Garris at third base batting 9th. So Crockett really the lone new face in for this Sunday matinee game. And on the mound for the Eastern Michigan Eagles, Brent Mattson making his 5th start of the season. In 16 innings pitched, he's allowed 17 earned runs for an ERA of 9.56. 24 hits allowed in those 16 innings, also 16 walks, so issuing a walk an inning, only 8 strikeouts, and a 343 batting average against. So he's been a little bit wild and also a little bit hittable so far this season, and Samford's offense has been red hot, so this could be a little bit of an interesting matchup for Brent Mattson as he delivers a first pitch ball high to TJ Dixon. Dixon, another stellar day yesterday, 2 for 4 with 3 runs driven in and a walk. TJ's average now sitting at 365. On base at 447, and he's quickly ahead in the count, 3-0 here to begin the bottom of the first for Samford. Samford comes into today's contest with a 12-6 record, and that one's well high, and it's an easy 4-pitch walk for TJ Dixon, nothing close to the strike zone there. And so the command issues for Brent Mattson on display early here this afternoon.
The shortstop, Brandon Fryman.
So Samford 12-6 entering today. Eastern Michigan 3-15. That record, I don't think, is quite a fair assessment of the talent level on their team. They've had a lot of close losses. They've had 4 one-run losses, including Friday night's contest here at Joe Lee Griffin Field, where Samford won 4-3 on a Jordan Fusey walk-off. They've had 7 losses by 3 runs or less. This ball's hit sharp on the ground, could be 2. It goes 6-4-3. It is a double play, so 2 away now for Samford. It's Max Schumann at shortstop today for the Eagles. It's his first start of the series. He did appear in yesterday's game as a pinch hitter and then remained in the game at third base. He went 1 for 2. Today he's at short. The guy who's been playing short, Marquise Gill, shifts over to his right and is playing third base today. So Schumann's first action at short turns a nice 6-4-3 double play. This one's hit hard up the middle, takes a weird bounce off the pitcher's mound and over the head of second baseman Peggs, and Kevin Williams is aboard with the first hit of the day for Samford. Austin Edens steps to the plate. He hit a home run yesterday, so did Kevin Williams, the man now standing on first base. For Williams, it was his 8th that leads the team. Edens not too far behind him. He hit his 5th yesterday. Takes a big swing and cuts one foul. Edens at 338, leads the team in on-base percentage at 449, just barely ahead of TJ Dixon, who actually just surpassed him now with that walk to begin the inning. Though Edens has a chance to jump back out in front in that department if he can find a way on base here. Mattson delivers the 0-1 to Edens, low and outside, evening the count at 1-1. Eastern Michigan has played a very tough schedule, and despite their record, they have an RPI in the top 100 in D1 college baseball right now, as Edens swings and misses. Pitching has been an issue for them. Team ERA well over 7 this season. Part of that is due, in fact, to the fact that they've played a very difficult schedule as Edens takes outside. Mattson has also thrown 5 wild pitches in just 16 innings. So in addition to the walks, 5 wild pitches, a couple hit batters as well. So he struggles to find command of the strike zone quite often. So it might be a little bit of a change of pace from what we've seen the first 2 games, where we've really seen both pitching staffs getting ahead of hitters and pounding the strike zone. That one well outside and high as well. Makes the count full on Austin Edens. And that one's high and tight, and Edens is aboard with a walk. So 3 of the first 4 Bulldogs batters have reached base, but Dixon, of course, was erased on that 6-4-3 double play. So Williams stands at second, and Edens at first, with Troy Dixon stepping to the plate. Troy Dixon was over 4 yesterday.
Second baseman Troy Dixon.
Hitting just 197 on the season. Troy still looking for his first hit this weekend. He skies one out to left. Metashevsky a few steps towards the wall to his left and makes the catch, and that'll do it for Samford in the first. A few base runners, but Samford leaves 2 on base as Brett Madsen works through a couple of walks and a base hit. We'll be back with the second inning of action at Joe Lee Griffin Field. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go.
Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan. King of jungle.
I know you want to just...
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Anthony Mulrine leads off the bottom half of the second for Samford. Eastern Michigan out in front 1-0 after putting together a little two-out rally in the top half of the inning. Jones struck out Jeremy Stidham and then got a ground out of Owings, but then hit Max Schumann and Peggs and Lubin back-to-back singles. This one's hit on the ground to Schumann at short. He fires across the diamond in time to retire Anthony Mulrine. Jordan Fusey was the walk-off hero in Game 1. The solo home run to lead off the bottom of the ninth to send Samford home victorious.
Right fielder, Jordan Fusey.
Yesterday he was 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks, so just 1 for 8 in the series, but of course that he made that one hit count in a big way. Big swing and a miss there, making the count 1-1. Fusey on the year is at 237, 14 for 59. He struck out 21 times. Here he lines one into left field for a base hit past the diving attempt from Max Schumann at short. So the second hit of the game for the Bulldogs belongs to Jordan Fusey. Samford left a couple runners on base back in the first inning. TJ Dixon walked to lead off the game and then was erased on a double play, and then Williams and Edens hit. Well, Williams hit a single before Edens walked, and then Troy Dixon flew out to end the inning. So 2 runners left on base in the first, and here Fusey aboard with 1 out. Ryan Crockett making his first appearance of the weekend. Freshman getting the start as the designated hitter. It's his 7th start, just 3 for 18 so far for Ryan Crockett. Coach Dunn's going to try to get him going with a little action today on this Sunday afternoon. He does have a home run to his name. One of his 3 hits was a long ball. Here he hits one sharply to second base. Peggs to Schumann, over to Edens. It's a 4-6-3 double play, and so just like that, Jordan Fusey is erased off of the base paths, and the second inning comes to a close. So Eastern Michigan continues to lead 1-0. We will head to the third inning. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
General Shale makes your great outdoors even better with big savings on its outdoor living collection. Everything you need to create your own backyard fire pit. Outdoor fireplace, General Shale delivers to your home and can recommend a contractor. Or offers easy-to-follow instructions to do it yourself. Save money now on backyard fun with General Shale's complete outdoor living collection. Hurry, your great outdoors is waiting for you.
Back for the third inning of work is Stephen Jones. Eastern Michigan leading 1-0 after a little 2-out rally in the second. Marquise Gill will lead off. He walked and stole a base back in the first inning, making his 3rd consecutive start of the series. He shows bunt and puts one down the first base line. It's going to roll just foul. Gill, I mentioned his first at-bat, had a multi-hit game yesterday. He's been one of the bright spots in this lineup for Eastern Michigan this weekend, 4 for 8 overall. You can add a walk to that as well now with that walk in the first inning this afternoon. Stephen Jones ahead of him, 0-2. Just gets a piece to stay alive, does Marquise Gill. Samford, after this game, will play Troy in a home-and-home series this week. They will travel to Troy on Tuesday night and then host Troy here on Wednesday night, as that one is up high to make the count 1-2. Both of those games scheduled for a 6 p.m. first pitch. Game on Tuesday night can be heard on WVSU with a 5:45 airtime, and Wednesday night's game can be seen right here on YouTube Live in the Samford Sports Network. Austin Edens is going to misplay this one. Second time he's been unable to corral the ball, and that one is going to go as an E3. So Marquise Gill is aboard for the second time in as many at-bats. Walked in the first and reaches on an error from Austin Edens here in the third. Gill stole a base in the first inning. He is now 3 for 3 in stolen bases on the season. And John Montgomery, designated hitter, the power threat in this Eagles lineup, steps to the plate. He popped out to shortstop Brandon Fryman in foul territory. It was a nice play by Fryman back in the first inning, making a running catch over his shoulder. Umpire going to call a time quickly. It's been a nice weekend weather-wise at Joe Lee Griffin Field, especially compared to last weekend's series against Eastern Illinois, where there was some rain and cold temperatures. Eastern Michigan trying to salvage a win out of this 3-game series against Samford. Samford trying for its second consecutive home series sweep. Also looking for its 4th win in a row. Split a couple of midweek games, lost at Jacksonville State before winning in Tuscaloosa. And Gill's going to take off again. This ball is in the dirt, and so Mulrine's throw is good, but not in time, as Gill is easily into second base for his second stolen base of the afternoon. So Gill making some things happen on the base paths for Eastern Michigan. As I said, he's been really one of the bright spots in their lineup through the first 2 games and 2 innings here this afternoon. Montgomery's behind in the count against Stephen Jones, 1-2. That one's up high, making the count even at 2-2. Gill came in with a .254 average, and now 4 for 4 in the stolen base department. Jones going to look him back to second. Mark Vandermeed is the head coach for Eastern Michigan, as this one is poked past the diving Troy Dixon into right center. Coming around to score is Gill on the RBI single from John Montgomery, and Eastern Michigan now up 2-0 here in the 3rd inning. Little meeting on the mound here as head coach of Samford, Casey Dunn, come out, talk to Stephen Jones, try to get him to settle down a little bit. 3 hits for Eastern Michigan so far. Also a walk and a hit batter, and of course Gill started this inning by reaching on an error. So not a smooth start to the game for Samford Bulldogs as they find themselves in a 2-0 hole here in the 3rd inning at Joe Lee Griffin Field. Well, in addition to baseball and softball, there are a lot of other Samford sports in action. Men's basketball is off to Lynchburg, Virginia. They will continue in the CIT. That's the collegeinsider.com postseason tournament. They're in the second round, and they will take on the Liberty Flames tomorrow night. That's a 6 p.m. Central tip time. This ball is smoked on a line over the head of Brandon Fryman into left field, and it's a base hit for Jordan Peterson. And Eastern Michigan in business here with 2 on and nobody out in the third. Neither team has begun conference play. For Eastern Michigan, who plays in the MAC, they will begin conference play next weekend in a series against Bowling Green. Samford will begin SoCon play 2 weeks from now. Next weekend, they're in Lawrence, Kansas to play the Jayhawks, and then the following weekend, they will take on VMI in their first SoCon series of the season. A lot of other SoCon action happening today in college baseball, and we'll give you some score updates on that later on as well, as Jones delivers a ball outside to Stidham. Stidham struck out his first at bat, one of 2 strikeout victims so far for Stephen Jones, who finds himself in a little bit of a jam here in the third inning. 2-0 Eagles, and threatening for some more damage. Jones trying to limit that damage, get his team back into the dugout. Samford has put a couple runners on base in their 2 innings at the plate, but has not been able to knock anyone home. And this one has popped up very high. Playable on the infield. It's Troy Dixon that will come in and call off both Jones and Edens and make the catch for the first out of the inning. Samford tennis teams, both men's tennis and women's tennis, are nearing the start of their SoCon play. Women's tennis will open SoCon play next Wednesday against Mercer. That's on the road. They'll have their first SoCon match at home March 25th against ETSU, and men's tennis starts SoCon play next weekend with road matches at Furman and Wofford. Zachary Owings 0 for 1 with a ground out to Troy Dixon at second base just last inning. That one's in the dirt, and Jones falls behind. Owings 2-0. Owings is 2 for 9 in the series. He has driven in 1 run and scored 1 run. And that one's in the dirt and quickly 3-0. And Jones struggling to find the strike zone right now for Samford. Jones delivers the 3-0 to Owings, and that is in there for a called strike. Jones on the season now, 15 walks, 3 wild pitches, and 3 hit batters. Had that rough-looking 7.47 ERA coming into today. That's already gone up a little bit, and that one is up high for an easy take for Zachary Owings, and that'll load the bases for Eastern Michigan.
Shortstop Max Schumann.
Second walk of the day for Stephen Jones, and Max Schumann will step to the plate. He was hit by a pitch just last inning, scored the first run of the game. That hit by pitch started a 2-out rally, and here he hits one on the ground to Troy Dixon. He's going to turn, pivot, and throw to Fryman for 1. Over to Edens. Just in time, they get him. It's a 4-6-3 double play. A great stretch from Austin Edens, and so Stephen Jones does get out of a jam, allowing just 1 run and leaving the bases loaded. So Samford will come back to the plate in the bottom half of the third, trailing 2-0. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Back for the bottom half of the third, Samford trailing Eastern Michigan 2-0. It'll be the 9-1-2 spots. Taylor Garris, TJ Dixon, and Brandon Fryman due up here in the third inning for the Samford Bulldogs. Well, fans, the iconic Harlem Globetrotters are back in town tonight with their unrivaled family show featuring some of the greatest athletes on the planet. Join us here on the Samford campus inside the Pete Hanna Center today at 3 p.m. Tickets are limited, but still available online at sanfordsports.com/tickets. So the Globetrotters here right across from where we're playing baseball in the Pete Hanna Center at 3 o'clock, the second consecutive weekend that they have been here. If you've never had a chance to see the Globetrotters and you're in Birmingham, now's as good a time as any. And Garris quickly gets ahead in the count, 2-0. Brent Matson has gotten out of a few jams already. Last inning, he issued a one-out single to Fusey before erasing him on a 4-6-3 double play from Ryan Crockett. Behind in the count here to Taylor Garris. That one's in there for a call strike. So 3-1 the count. Samford's left a runner on base in each inning. Their offense is going to have some work to do as they're playing from behind. And that one is in there for a called strike 2. And now Matson works back into a full count after falling behind 3-0 against Taylor Garris. Fryman gets a piece and stays alive. Fryman hit into a double play in the first inning after, or Garris rather, is making his first at bat, but yesterday Garris had a 3-hit game. 3 for 3 with 3 singles. One of 5 Bulldogs that had a multi-hit game. And here he thought he drew ball 4, but it's strike 3 called, and so Garris is retired looking. And now it'll be back to the top of the lineup and TJ Dixon. Dixon walked his first at bat and then was erased on Fryman's 6-4-3 double play. Dixon right now currently on a 17-game hitting streak. Trying to extend that here today. Takes one low for ball 1. Dixon did not record a hit in the season opener against UNC Asheville, but has recorded a hit in every game since that point. Big swing and a miss here to make the count 1-1. Works the count now to 2-1. Puts one foul down the third base line, making the count 2-2. Dixon batting .365 entering today. That leads the team. As I mentioned, entered today just barely behind Austin Edens in the on-base percentage department. 27 for 74 is TJ Dixon, so he leads the team in hits as well. He's also got 4 doubles to his name and also a triple and a home run, 11 runs driven in. Skies this one high, but it's going to get out of play back behind the visitors' dugout. Three of those 11 RBIs for TJ Dixon came in yesterday's 7-3 Samford win. The 2-2 pitch to Dixon is lined into center field. One step to his right and making the catch is Drake Lubin, and so 2 away here for Samford in the third as Brandon Fryman steps to the plate. Fryman 0 for 1 after hitting into a double play in the first inning. So Brent Matson A good start on the mound for the Eagles. That one high and tight to Fryman. Despite the struggles of Matson through his first 4 starts of the season, he does have a couple wins to his name. Win-loss record of 2-1. This one is hit to Schumann on the ground, plays it on a hop, fires over. Ball is in the dirt, but picked out nicely by Owings in time to retire Brandon Fryman for the second time today. So the Bulldogs go 1-2-3 in the third. They continue to trail Eastern Michigan 2-0. We'll be back for the 4th inning of action. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go.
Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan, king of jungle.
I know you wanted to.
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Top of the 4th inning at Joe Lee Griffin Field. Drake Peggs, Drake Lubin, and Mike Metashevsky due up for the Eagles as Peggs hits one foul down the left field line. Peggs singled in his first at bat. It was part of that 2-out rally back in the 2nd inning that put Eastern Michigan on the board. They've got 2 runs on 4 hits. And that one's in there for a called strike, and Jones ahead of Peggs, 0-2. Brett Matson's been good on the mound for the Eagles so far. 3 innings, has allowed just 2 hits. Has also walked 2 and struck out 1. Swing and a miss from Drake Peggs, and Stephen Jones records his 3rd strikeout of the contest. Drake Lubin, the 2 Drakes hitting back-to-back at the bottom of the Eastern Michigan order, the 8 and 9 spots. Lubin also singled his first time up. It's one high and a shallow right. Dixon going out, Fusey coming in. It'll be Fusey calling off Dixon and making the catch for the 2nd out. So 2 quick outs here for Stephen Jones, and he was in need of a nice quick inning, and we'll see if he can get it here. He's got 2 away quickly, and back to the top of the order, Mike Metashevsky, as the Eagles begin their 3rd time through the lineup.
Left fielder Mike Metashevsky.
Metashevsky is 0 for 2 right now. He struck out looking and popped out to second base. Stephen Jones has not yet had a 1-2-3 inning on the mound. He has retired the first 2 already. He did that back in the 2nd before allowing a little 2-out rally. But this one should be a 1-2-3 inning as it's skied on the infield. But coming in is Fusey, and calling off Dixon and Edens, and making the catch is Fusey. So it is a 1-2-3 top of the 4th inning for Stephen Jones. Bulldogs have some work to do on the offensive end, trailing 2-0. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 4th inning. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small-sized fries, drinks, and shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meats.
Williams skies this one out, and running in and making the catch is Peterson out in right field, so one away for Samford in the bottom half of the fourth. We've had a couple technical difficulties in our broadcast early. We apologize for that. Streaming software has froze up on us once or twice. Hopefully we'll be good to go the rest of the game as Austin Edens steps to the plate for the second time this afternoon. Edens, in his first at bat, drew a walk. He's ahead here 2-0, make it 3-0 as that one's high and tight. Edens reaching base at about a 450 clip right now. A little bit over 450 thanks to that first inning walk. Samford's best shot at a run thus far really was in the first inning. It was Williams and Edens getting on back-to-back. Williams singled, Edens walked to put runners at first and second. But Troy Dixon flew out, and Edens will draw his second walk of the afternoon. Third walk issued for Brent Matson on the afternoon. 3 walks to just 1 strikeout, but only 2 hits for the Bulldogs through 3 1/3. Troy Dixon is still looking for his first hit of the series right now. He is 0 for 9 against Eastern Michigan. Here he puts a drive into right, but plenty of room is Peterson. He's back at the wall, makes the catch in front of the wall, and Troy Dixon is out for the second time this afternoon. Anthony Mulrine grounded out to short his first at bat. Mulrine 2 for 9 now in the series with a couple of singles and a run scored. Also has 3 strikeouts to his name this weekend. Takes one low for ball 1. A lot of noise and energy coming from the home dugout on this Sunday afternoon. pretty happy about the way they've been playing and the amount of wins they've picked up early in the season. That's a young Samford team, a lot of big names, either graduated or drafted last summer. A lot of new faces in this lineup. This one is skied out to right again. Peterson getting a lot of work this inning. He's under it and makes the catch to retire the side. So another runner left on base for Samford. They continue to trail 2-0. Only 2 hits for the Bulldogs through 4 innings. Eastern Michigan will step back to the plate in the top of the 5th. We'll be right back. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
Hi, I'm John Imarino, Commissioner of the Southern Conference. With the full cooperation of our presidents and chancellors, the conference has created the SoCon Academic Exchange, a cooperative structure designed to benefit our academic efforts. 3 primary initiatives will be the collaboration of international study programs, a leadership development program to benefit faculty and staff, and an undergraduate research forum. For more information on the SoCon Academic Exchange, visit soconsports.com.
The road to Omaha begins in Greenville, South Carolina. The Southern Conference Baseball Tournament comes to Fluor Field May 23rd through 28th. Enjoy some great college baseball with a trip to the NCAA's on the line in a city the New York Times calls one of the top places to go in 2017. Get your tickets to the tournament and book your rooms in that Greenville today. Experience the games. Explore the city.
Samford Director of Athletics Martin Newton recently announced the creation of the new Samford Athletics Hall of Fame. The votes are now in, and the inaugural class will be inducted in a special ceremony scheduled for Saturday, May 6th. You can find details online at sanfordsports.com and make your plans to join us in the brand new Samford Athletics Hall of Fame. Here at Joe Lee Griffin Field, Eastern Michigan continues to lead 2-0. They've got 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Samford, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error. The Eagles scratched out 1 run in the second and then added 1 in the third, and now we are into the top of the 5th. Marquise Gill at the plate for the 3rd time this afternoon. He has reached base in both of his prior plate appearances as he dribbles 1 foul towards the Eagles' dugout. Walked in the first, reached on an Austin Edens error in the third. In both instances that he's reached first base, he has stolen second base. So Jones trying to retire Gill for the first time today. Throws 1 in the dirt there to make the count 2-1. Two-one pitch from Jones in there for a called strike 2. Gill's having a good series for the Eagles. Two-two pitch from Jones is swung on and hit over a jumping Taylor Garris into left field. Gill takes a big turnaround first, but he will pump the brakes and remain at first base. So Gill is on base for the 3rd time this afternoon. His first hit of the contest.
Designated hitter John Montgomery.
And Jones will surely be keeping a close eye on Gill, as he already has a couple of stolen bases to his name this afternoon. John Montgomery back to the plate, 1 for 2. He drove in a run with a single in the 3rd. And Gill takes off right away, but Montgomery fouls 1 back to the screen. Eastern Michigan out to a 2-0 lead, looking to maybe tag on some more and give themselves a little bit of breathing room as they try to avoid getting swept and salvage 1 game of this 3-game series as Montgomery takes inside. Plenty of March Madness action happening today as well. By the end of the night, we will know the full Sweet 16. Swung on and missed. Gill takes off. That throw a little bit high. Fryman did apply the tag, and they got him. They got Gill. Gill is, I think, shocked at second base And Fryman, however, is in a little bit of pain right now, and Troy Dixon waves out the athletic trainer as Fryman is down on the ground. Gill took off immediately. It was a swing and a miss from Montgomery. Mulrine's throw a little high, but Fryman catches it and applies the tag, and they get Gill. So Gill is caught stealing. But I don't know if Gill maybe got a piece of Fryman or if he just landed awkwardly. Unfortunately, we don't have the benefit of looking at a replay right now. But Fryman is in some pain down to the dirt on the right side of the second base bag. And he's up on his feet, which is a good sign. And he seems to be walking it off on his own. So that's a very good sign for the Samford Bulldogs. The crowd gives Fryman a little bit of applause. He seems to be shaking it off, and he appears to be okay. Whether or not he'll stay in the game, we'll find out. I would imagine he will, as he put on a little bit of a jog there. Maybe just twisted the ankle a little bit. In any case, it appears to not be anything serious for Brandon Fryman, shortstop of the Samford Bulldogs. It's been a good year for Fryman, the freshman. He is one of those many new faces in this Bulldogs lineup. He has appeared in and started all 19 games for Samford, and he will remain in the game at shortstop, so Samford fans can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. They will not lose Brandon Fryman. So Gill off the base paths now. Jones is surely relieved to not have to worry about him causing any havoc on the bases. And Montgomery still at the plate in a 1-2 count with one away now. And that one is low in the count, even at 2-2. Stephen Jones has not been the most efficient, but he has gotten himself out of a few jams as this one is skied into left center. Dixon over to his right at the track, and he will make the catch, and 2 away for Eastern Michigan here in the 5th. Jordan Peterson now step to the plate with 2 away.
Right fielder Jordan Peterson.
1 for 2. He singled back in the 3rd inning. Here he takes one low and away for ball 1. Peterson has 3 hits in this weekend series against Samford. And he skies one very high on the infield. It'll be Dixon coming in behind the pitcher's mound, making the call and making the catch. So a leadoff single goes for nothing for the Eagles as Gill is caught stealing, and then Montgomery flies out, and Peterson pops out on the infield. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, no runners left on base for Eastern Michigan in the 5th. Samford will come back to the plate looking for a couple of runs. They trail 2-0. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
Meet Pete and Paul, twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and Repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no 2 customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
Back from the bottom of the 5th at Joe Lee Griffin Field. John McAfee bringing you all the action today. Samford looking for a couple of runs Nothing on the scoreboard yet, only 2 hits for the Bulldogs. Well, March Madness action, the first game of the day, is nearing its end, and we might be seeing another upset. 2 minutes left to go, but Michigan currently on top of Louisville, 64-61. That would be a 7 over a 2. A lot of brackets surely were lit up in flames yesterday when number 1 overall seed Villanova went down to Wisconsin of the Big Ten. A couple other upsets as well. Xavier over Florida State. That was an 11 over a 3. Jordan Fusey, slow dribbler down the third base line. Gill's going to have to hurry, not in time, and Fusey is aboard with a leadoff infield single. Fusey now 2 for 2 on the day, so he's got 2 out of the 3 Bulldog hits here in the early going.
The designated hitter, Ryan Crockett.
Crockett to the plate for the second time today. He hit into a 4-6-3 double play to end the second inning. This is Crockett's first start of the weekend. Crockett, a freshman, just 3 for 19 now on the season. 7 strikeouts in those 19 at-bats, so striking out in nearly 50% of his plate appearances right now, but 19 at-bats, not much of a sample size to judge him on right now, and he fouls this one out of play. Count is at 1-1. Samford looking to string a couple hits or a couple base runners together. They haven't really been able to do that since the first inning when Williams Jr. and Edens both reached back-to-back on a single and a walk. That was the only time so far this afternoon where Samford has had multiple runners on base. This one is hit on the ground through the right side of the infield. Fusey will round second, but he will not go to third. And now he is, as the ball is misplayed by Peters and right. And because of that, Fusey is able to take that extra 90 feet. And now Samford is in business with runners at first and third. So Crockett, for him, that's got to feel good. Pokes one through the right side of the infield. There will be an error on that play, by the way, by right fielder Jordan Peterson. That misplay allowed Fusey to reach third base. So Garris steps to the plate. He struck out looking his first at bat. Fusey took a big turnaround second, but was going to put the brakes on, and then he saw Peterson Back in the sixth, now all tied up at 2 runs apiece. It'll be Jeremy Stidham, Zachary Owings, and Max Schumann for the Eagles. As this one is smashed into left and way out of here for Jeremy Stidham. His first home run of the season. He got all of that one, and Kevin Williams took 1 or 2 steps back towards the wall and just watched it fly over his head, and immediately back out in front is Eastern Michigan.
First baseman Zachary Owings.
Owings to the plate now, fouls one back to the backstop. So Jeremy Stidham, his first home run of the season. His 4th RBI. That's just the 5th home run for the Eagles as a team. 3 by John Montgomery, 1 by Jordan Peterson, and now Jeremy Stidham with his first of the season, and he puts his team back out in front to start this 6th inning. So we're going to miss from Owings. Behind now in the count, 1-2. That one skips in the dirt away from Mulrine, 2-2. So Eastern Michigan has scored a run in the second, a run in the third, and now a run here in the 6th. Samford scored both of their runs in the bottom half of the 5th to briefly tie the game. Stephen Jones trying to get through inning number 6. This one is hit on a line. TJ Dixon coming in, diving and making a stellar catch on a diving play in left center field. That ball hit on a line, looked like it was going to get down. TJ Dixon got a good jump on the ball and a full extension dive to retire Zachary Owings. Great play in center by TJ Dixon.
Shortstop Max Schumann.
Schumann was hit by a pitch and scored in the second, and then hit into a double play in the third. Gets a piece of that one, making the count 1-1. Samford softball and Martin, Tennessee this weekend, playing in the UT Martin Classic. Mentioned earlier, they won Game 1 of their doubleheader today against Western Illinois, 7-4, as Stephen Jones pounds that one in for a strike and gets ahead 1-2 on Max Schumann. They'll be taking on UT Martin in Game 2 this afternoon. I'll give you a score update on that when they get going. So they're looking for a 4-game sweep in that UT Martin Classic. They beat Western Illinois 6-0 yesterday, and UT Martin 2-1, and then today a 7-4 victory over Western Illinois. This one hit on the ground. Garris has it on a hop, but it's a foul ball. First game of the day in March Madness has gone final, and Louisville is no longer in the tournament. Michigan upsets them 73-69 as the Wolverines reach the Sweet 16. 3 teams from the Big Ten have now clinched a spot in the Sweet 16, Wisconsin, Purdue, and Michigan. So Michigan State playing later tonight. They'll take on Kansas, who will be heavily favored in that game. Full count right now to Max Schumann. The Eagles back out in front thanks to a solo home run from Jeremy Stidham. And that one's outside. And Max Schumann is aboard with a walk from Stephen Jones. For Jones, that's his third walk of the afternoon. Schumann has been aboard twice now. He was hit and now draws a walk. Drake Peggs, 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Just one out here in the 6th inning. That one high and away. Schumann has a couple stolen bases to his credit this year, 2 for 2 in the stolen base department. Stands on first and takes a healthy lead. And Jones is going to check on him. Eastern Michigan, 3 runs on 6 hits and an error. 2 runs on 4 hits and an error for the home team. That one up high, and Peggs ahead in the count, 2-1. Peggs, the freshman. The bottom half of this order for Eastern Michigan is full of young faces. 3 freshmen and a sophomore. And that one's well high. Well, Ryan did well just to be able to jump up and glove that one, not prevent it from getting to the backstop. And Jones behind 3-1. There is action in the bullpen for both teams. Can't tell who's in for Samford because the wall blocks our view up here in the press box. Jones is going to check on Schumann again. Swing and a miss from Peggs, and the count is full. Jones, if he were to issue a walk or really a base runner in any way here, that may be the end of the day for him. As it is right now, he's trying to grind his way through this 6th inning and depart trailing just 1 run. And they've got Schumann in a rundown. Fryman over to Jones. Jones will tag him out himself. So it goes 1-3-6-1. And Schumann is retired for the 2nd out of the inning. Big out there for Stephen Jones. Caught Schumann leading just a little bit too far off first base. Now just a strike away from getting out of this 6th inning. Certainly, if he does, this will be the end of the day for Stephen Jones if he can get through this 6th inning. Very likely that Brent Matson's day for the Eagles is done as well. We'll find out for sure here momentarily. That one is low and outside, and so it is the 2nd consecutive walk from Stephen Jones, and Drake Peggs aboard for the 2nd time today. And Coach Dunn coming out, and with that base runner, Stephen Jones' day will be done. We will have our first pitching change of the afternoon. Before we have that, we will take a quick break. Eastern Michigan back out in front 3-2 thanks to a solo home run to lead off the 6th inning from catcher Jeremy Stidham. Pitching change for the Bulldogs coming up. We'll be right back. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to stop sexual assault on our college campuses.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a teammate or friend home safe.
To not blame the victim.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to look out for each other on our campuses.
To not turn a blind eye.
To intervene when something isn't right.
We are the Southern Conference.
And it's on us to stand up.
To step in. To take responsibility.
We are the Southern Conference, and we take the pledge to stop sexual assault.
It's on us, all of us, to make a difference on our campuses.
Join us and take the pledge to be a part of the solution at itsonus.org.
So it's the first pitching change of the game here in the top half of the 6th inning. The new pitcher for the Samford Bulldogs, number 41, Jared Brasher. Brasher in for the second consecutive day. He pitched an inning yesterday, and it was a good one. He struck out the side. All in all, this is the 7th appearance for Brasher, the hard-throwing righty. In 6 innings so far, he's given up just 2 runs, both earned on just 2 hits. He's got 9 strikeouts, but also 9 walks in those 6 innings. So another guy where control is an issue, but he did not show that yesterday when he had a very, very good start striking out the side. Allowed 1 base runner in his lone inning yesterday, but that was on an error. It was an E4. That was Brennan Williams, the designated hitter, who reached against him. And then he proceeded to strike out Zachary Owings, Max Schumann, and Drake Peggs in his only inning of work yesterday. Here he will face Drake Lubin with 2 away, who fouls one back and over the screen up our way towards the press box. Brasher just trying to get the final out of this 6th inning and get the Bulldogs back into the dugout. Get their offense back to the plate as they trail 3-2 here in the bottom half of the 6th. Game was tied at 2 very briefly after the bottom half of the 5th inning. Jeremy Stidham changed that quickly by leading off this inning with a solo home run to left. That one is in there on the outside corner for a called strike, and Brasher ahead of Lubin 1-2. Taking off is Peggs. Throw is in time. They got him. Caught stealing. The second runner thrown out by Anthony Mulrine today. It's Drake Peggs caught trying to steal second base. So that will do it for Eastern Michigan here in the 6th inning. They add a run off a solo home run from Jeremy Stidham. They are back in front 3-2. Samford will come to the plate in the bottom half of the 6th, trailing by a run. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go.
Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan, king of jungle.
Why don't you want to just...
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Well, the NCAA tournament not the only postseason college basketball tournament going on. In addition to the NCAA tournament and the NIT tournament, there's also the CIT, the CollegeInsider.com postseason tournament. Samford Bulldogs slated for a second-round matchup in that tournament. They are headed to Lynchburg, Virginia. As Kevin Williams Jr. takes a ball to lead off the bottom half of the 6th. Samford basketball will take on the Liberty Flames tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central is the scheduled tip time. 5:45 airtime on Birmingham's 99-1 the game. As Williams skies one high, foul down the third baseline. Running over is Schumann and making the catch in foul territory.
Fans, as precaution to your safety, please help us by not sitting on the brick walls down the first and third baselines. Again, fans are not permitted to sit on the brick wall during game action.
Austin Edens has reached base in both of his plate appearances today. A couple of walks.
Austin Edens.
Talking about that Samford Liberty basketball game, if you would like to watch it, it will be broadcast live on Facebook Live. Just look for the Liberty Flames athletic page on Facebook. You will be able to find a live stream of the game there. And if you want to listen, as I said, 99 won the game. Blake Gardner will have the call, 5:45 airtime, 6 p.m. tip time. Edens quickly in an 0-2 hole here. Matson, by the way, is still pitching for Eastern Michigan, so he's trying to equal Stephen Jones, if not surpass him. Jones got through 5 2/3. Matson right now through 5 1/3. There is still action in Eastern Michigan's bullpen. That one's outside. It's James Harness, the freshman righty that's warming up for the Eagles down the left field line as Edens fouls one back into the screen. Harness has not seen any action yet in this series, but right now appears to be the next man up. One-two pitch to Edens, fouled off again. Samford's runs came last inning when Fusey and Crockett led off with back-to-back singles. Garris put down a bunt that brought in Fusey, and then Crockett eventually scored on a wild pitch from Brent Matson. This one hit on the ground, bobbled but fired over in time, and so Edens is retired 6-3. Bobbled briefly there by Max Schumann at short, but able to recover and throw out Edens by a step. Troy Dixon 0 for 2 today. A couple of flyouts, looking for his first hit of the series, trying to bust out a little slump he's had. He had a good showing in their midweek games against Jacksonville State and Alabama. Homered in both of those, but sporting an 0-fer on the weekend against the Eagles. That is a fair ball. Troy Dixon is shocked. He thought for sure that was foul. He was not running. He's having a brief word with home plate umpire Lance Weems. Not happy about that, but that'll be a 2-1 putout as the ball bounced fair right in front of home plate. So that's a 1-2-3 inning for Samford. They continue to trail 3-2. We'll be back as we head to the 7th inning at Joe Lee Griffin Field. You're watching Samford Baseball on YouTube Live, presented by the Samford Sports Network.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
Meet Pete and Paul, twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no two customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
Jared Brasher's day is done. Recorded just one out. New pitcher for the Samford Bulldogs is Tristan Wedra. Wedra is making his 7th appearance of the season. Just 1 earned run in 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, and just 2 walks. 1.29 ERA. Good start to the season for Tristan Wedra. He's out for the Bulldogs to pitch the 7th inning. Well, even though the Samford baseball season is well underway, it's not too late to get season tickets. You get the remaining schedule for just $30. 19 home games remaining, and that includes dates with both the Auburn Tigers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Samford beat both Auburn and Alabama on the road already this season. They will host them both later this season at Joe Lee Griffin Field. So those would be included if you decide to get season tickets, just $30 again. We'll get you the remaining 19-game home schedule. You can find details online at sanfordsports.com/tickets or call the Samford ticket office at 205-726-3647. That's 205-726-DOGS. Eastern Michigan leading Samford 3-2 here in the top half of the 7th. Tristan Wedra, his first pitch is bunted foul. Drake Lubin was at the plate facing Jared Brasher to end last inning. He never got to finish his at bat because Drake Peggs was caught stealing. So he's back to the plate now. Starts with a fresh count and behind 0-1 after the foul ball. Wedra delivers the 0-1. Just a little bit inside for ball 1. Lubin is 1 for 2 with an RBI single that came back in the 2nd inning. He knocked in the first run of the afternoon for the Eagles. The Eagles are looking for just their 4th win of the season. Samford looking for its 13th. Samford's won 7 consecutive home games here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. 2 weeks ago against Indiana, they lost the opener and then won the next 2. Swept Eastern Illinois a week ago. This one's fouled back towards us. Hits the top of the press box. After sweeping Eastern Illinois last weekend, that put their home win streak at 5. And then, of course, they've won the first 2 here this weekend against Eastern Michigan to put their home win streak at 7. Looking to make it 8. It would be their 4th overall consecutive win. Beat Bama on Wednesday, and then, of course, the first 2 of this series. 2-2 is outside for ball 3. 12-6 record for the Bulldogs. 3 of those losses came to Florida State Seminoles, who are right now the #1 ranked team in college baseball. So outside of that Florida State series, Samford 12-3. This one is hit down the right field line. That'll be a souvenir for one of the fans. A lot of fans down the right field line on the other side of the brick wall. Pretty good showing today here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. It is Fan Appreciation Day, so free tickets for everybody. Everyone gets in free. It's also Kids Day, so kids can run the bases following the game and play catch with mom and dad, or perhaps even one of the Samford Bulldogs. Full count now to Drake Lubin here in the top half of the 7th. And that is in there for a called strike 3, and Tristan Wedra's day gets started with a strikeout looking of Drake Lubin. We'll head back to the top of the order now for the Eagles. Mike Metashevsky, left fielder. 0 for 3 right now on the afternoon. Leadoff spot has been a little bit of a struggle this series for the Eagles. This one, though, is hit up the middle. Fryman able to snag it behind the second base bag. No, he's not. It gets past his glove, and Dixon's got it in center. Either way, it's a base hit for Metashevsky. And so right as I'm saying, the leadoff spot has been struggling for Eastern Michigan there. Metashevsky is able to reach with his first hit of the game. Yesterday it was Lubin in the leadoff spot. He went 1 for 4. The Eagles have tried 3 different leadoff hitters in the 3 games this series. It was Jeremy Stidham on Friday, Drake Lubin last night, and Mike Metashevsky today. Just trying to get something going. When you're 3-15, you're going to mix things up a little bit and try to find a way to win a game. They're hoping to do that today. They're up 3-2 right now. Medashevsky on first base. Marquise Gill at the plate. He's reached base 3 times, all 3 times that he's stepped to the plate. A walk, an error, and a single. And he's behind here against Widra, 0-2. He's reached base all 3 times. He's also tried to steal all 3 times. He was successful the first 2 times. Mulrine threw him out the most recent time. That was in the 5th inning. So 2 for 3 in stolen bases today is Marquise Gill. Widra sets and delivers the 0-2 pitch outside for ball 1. Medashevsky at first base does not have a stolen base yet this year. He's 0 for 2 in stolen base attempts. Eastern Michigan has played in a lot of close games this season. Involved in another one right now in this Sunday matinee. Widra's pitch well outside. Mulrine thought about a quick throw to first, but Medashevsky quickly back to the bag. Mentioned earlier, 4 one-run losses for Eastern Michigan, including one this weekend on Friday night, a 4-3 Samford win. 7 losses by 3 runs or less. 4 losses that were either in extra innings or walk-off losses. Of course, that also includes Friday night. Swing and a miss from Marquise Gill. He's retired for the first time today, and it's the 2nd strikeout of the inning for Tristan Widra.
Designated hitter, John Montgomery.
So John Montgomery will step back to the plate. He's 1 for 3. He had an RBI single that knocked in the 2nd run of the game for Eastern Michigan back in the 3rd inning. Also popped out to the shortstop in foul territory. Flew out to T.J. Dixon in center in the 5th inning. Montgomery smashed a home run into right center yesterday. It was his 3rd home run of the year. 13 runs driven in this season for Montgomery. That leads this Eagles club. That one well inside, and Montgomery's out ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Tristan Widra, a pair of strikeouts and a base hit allowed so far in the 7th inning. This is Widra's first appearance of the weekend as well. This one is hit very high, but playable. Fusey coming in into shallow right center, camps out under it and puts it away. So Widra, a very quick, inefficient 7th inning. Samford will be back to the plate in the bottom half of the 7th. They continue to trail. It's 3-2. Eastern Michigan leads. You're watching Samford Baseball on YouTube Live, presented by the Samford Sports Network.
These are the student athletes. This is where they train. These are their homes. This is where they become Rhodes Scholars and academic All-Americans. These are the athletes they've always admired. This is where champions are crowned and moments are made. This is the Southern Conference.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Brett Matson's day not done yet for Eastern Michigan. He is back out on the mound for the bottom of the 7th. And why not? He's had a pretty good day so far. Has allowed just 2 runs on 4 hits over 6 innings, 3 walks, and a couple of strikeouts.
Catcher Anthony Mulrine.
He'll face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters of the Samford Bulldogs in the bottom half of the 7th. couple of arms getting loose now for Eastern Michigan. Matthew Beaton, one of them, getting loose down the left field line. And already mentioned James Harness. He's still warming up. Beaton pitched on Friday night. He ended up taking the loss. He allowed Jordan Fusey's walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning. Pitched well prior to that, though. He pitched a couple of innings in that game in relief of Sam Delaplane. And that one's in there for a strike to Anthony Mulrine, who's 0 for 2 on the day. 1-1 count right now to Mulrine against Matson. This one skied very high on the infield. Coming in as Pegs on the edge of the grass, and he will make the catch. So quickly 1 away for Matson here in the bottom half of the 7th. This has been a similar feel to Friday night's game that Samford won on that Fusey walk-off. It was a 4-3 win for the Bulldogs. It was really a very entertaining, closely played game from beginning to end, and this has kind of been that too. Eastern Michigan jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the 3rd inning. Samford battled back to tie it in the 5th before Jeremy Stidham put his team back ahead with a solo home run in the 6th. So it's been a closely played match as we near the 2-hour mark of this game here in the top half of the 7th. And that ball in the dirt, making the count 1-1 to Jordan Fusey, who was having himself pretty nice day, 2 for 2 with a couple of singles and a run scored. Fusey going to try to start another Samford rally here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. He's a guy that started the season batting mostly in the 5-hole behind Austin Edens. He was off to a little bit of a cold start and dropped down the order a little bit. He's really heating up at the plate. He played well in their midweek games against Jack State and Alabama as well, and having a good series now with, of course, the walk-off home run on Friday night and now a 2-hit performance so far this afternoon. He's ahead in the count, 3-1, trying to work his way on base. And he does. That pitch well outside, and Fusey is aboard with a 1-out walk. Fusey on base all 3 times. He's come to the plate now with a couple of singles and a walk. And Ryan Crockett will have his 3rd at bat. 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run in the 5th. Scored what was the game-tying run before Eastern Michigan jumped back out in front. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Matson's day surely nearing its end. If he gets into too much trouble in this 7th inning, we may see a mid-inning pitching change. But Matson, in his mind, trying to get through this 7th inning with a lead. Starting to lose control a little bit as he falls behind Crockett 2-0. That walk to Fusey was walk number 4. And he's quickly behind 3-0 as he skips that one in the dirt. And I think if you see a 4 or 5 pitch walk here, that might be the end of the day for Brent Matson. Marquise Gill going to walk in from third, talk to him real quick, tell him to settle down. You're playing with a lead. You got to pump some strikes right now. If you're Brent Matson, 3-0 to Crockett, none of those pitches especially close to the strike zone. In danger of walking 2 consecutive batters. Had not issued a walk since the 4th inning prior to this inning, but now in danger of issuing a couple right in a row, and he does. That one's high and inside. It's a 4-pitch walk, all easy takes for Ryan Crockett. And it looks like we will have a pitching change as Eagles head coach Mark Vandermeed, in his 3rd season with Eastern Michigan, trots to the mound and makes a motion to the bullpen. So with that, the day is over for Brent Matson. 2 runs in 5 1/3 innings with 4 hits. 5 walks, a couple of strikeouts. Of course, he will leave responsible for the runners on both first and second base. We'll tell you all about the new Eagles pitcher right after this break. 3-2 in favor of Eastern Michigan. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
General Shale makes your great outdoors even better with big savings on its outdoor living collection. Everything you need to create your own backyard fire pit. Outdoor fireplace, General Shale delivers to your home and can recommend a contractor. Or offers easy-to-follow instructions to do it yourself. Save money now on backyard fun with General Shale's complete outdoor living collection. Hurry, your great outdoors is waiting for you.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. Regions, every day is game day.
Freshman righty James Harness, number 30, in the game for the Eagles as we continue here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Harness has worked both as a starter and a reliever now this season. This is his 5th appearance of the season. He made 3 starts and now his 2nd appearance out of the bullpen. 14 2/3 innings pitched for Harness. He's allowed 12 runs in that span, all earned. 26 hits allowed in those 14 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts, and 4 walks. A 7.36 ERA for James Harness. Batting average against, not pretty for him. 400 opponents are hitting against him in his 14 2/3 innings so far this season, and he inherits a couple of base runners thanks to back-to-back walks from Brent Mattson. Fusey at second base, Crockett at first with just 1 out. Samford, a prime opportunity right here in the 7th inning to tie this game back up or possibly even take the lead. Taylor Garris, who had a 3-hit game yesterday, is at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Rips one sharply through the legs of Gill at third base. Being waved around third is Fusey. He will score without a throw. This game is tied as Taylor Garris knocks one into the left field to tie the score at 3. That will go as a base hit for Taylor Garris, not an E5. It would have been a nice play by Gill. It was a sharp hit ball. TJ Dixon now back to the plate. Fusey, who scored there, has 2 of the 3 Samford runs. So Crockett at second now. Garris at first with his first hit of the day. Dixon takes a strike. This may be his last opportunity to extend his hitting streak. TJ Dixon 0 for 2 today. Hitting streak on the line here in the 7th inning, and also an opportunity to not just extend the streak, but possibly put his team in front. Puts one on the ground. Is it going to get through the hole? To his left is Peggs. He gets it. Does he retire Dixon? He does, just in time. Great play. Diving to his left is Drake Peggs, smothering the ball, throwing to Owings, and they get TJ Dixon at first by a step. So Dixon's hit streak not extended. Whether or not he'll get another at-bat remains to be seen, but he does get both runners over an additional 90 feet. So Crockett over to third, Garris over to second as TJ Dixon is retired on the 4-3 put out for the second out of the inning. Brandon Fryman is 0 for 3, looking for his first hit of the afternoon. And a hit here would be a big one. It would put his team in front. Very likely that if he puts the ball somewhere in the outfield, that it will put 2 runs on the board for Samford. Fryman's got 9 runs driven in this season. Dump calls time here. So we've got another tie game, much like Friday night. We had a 3-3 tie up until the bottom of the ninth when Fusey hit the walk-off home run. Here on this Sunday afternoon, we are tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th. Brandon Fryman right now behind in the count, 0-2. That one taken high, 1-2. It's James Harness on the mound right now for Eastern Michigan in relief of Brent Matson, who was charged with that game-tying run. He's also, Matson is responsible for the runner on third base. That's Ryan Crockett. Matson, a couple of back-to-back walks before he departed. Fryman pops one out, should be playable. Stidham, behind home plate in foul territory, makes the catch. And so Samford ties the game, but leaves a couple of runners in scoring position. So we will head to the 8th. Game now tied. Eastern Michigan 3, Samford 3. We'll be back for the top half of the 8th. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small-sized fries, drinks, and shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meats.
Back for the top of the 8th inning here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. We'll take a look at a Papa John's scoreboard update, looking at some SoCon baseball action. ETSU defeated Miami of Ohio on the road 2-1. Citadel currently trailing at home to Dartmouth 5-3. Furman up 6-1 in the 8th on North Carolina. A&T Mercer up 6-0 on 18th ranked East Carolina. Yale is crushing Wofford 9-0 in the 6th. Kent State up on Western Carolina 2-1, and VMI trailing 2-0 to Elon. So look at the Papa John's scoreboard update with SoCon baseball action. We've got a tie game here in the top of the 8th. Tristan Wedra is back on the mound for his second inning of work for the Bulldogs, and is falling behind on Jordan Peterson. Peterson is 1 for 3 on the day with a single. Cleanup hitter, right fielder. He's been out there for every inning of this series in right field, has Jordan Peterson. Here he puts a drive into one center. TJ Dixon is on the run. He's at the wall. He's looking up. It is out of here. Jordan Peterson, his second home run of the season, has put the Eagles back on top, 4-3. Talked a lot about the lack of power from this Eagles team. Well, they've got a couple of home runs today from Peterson now, and the guy stepping to the plate, Jeremy Stidham, he hit one just 2 innings ago. They entered this day with just 4 home runs as a team throughout 18 games on the season. They've got a couple today. Jeremy Stidham, a solo home run, and now Jordan Peterson, a solo home run to put the Eagles back on top in the top half of the 8th inning. Stidham, the man at the plate right now. After Samford tied the game at 2, it was Stidham that hit a solo shot to put Eastern Michigan up 3-2 in the 6th inning. Samford, of course, tied it up in the 7th, and now back in front again as he puts a drive into one in left, and that's a base hit for Jeremy Stidham. Eastern Michigan desperate for a win. Both times Samford has tied this game up, they have responded immediately with the long ball, something that they have not done much of this season. Samford left a couple of runners on base in that last inning. That could come back to haunt them. They had runners on first and second with just one out in a tie game, but then TJ Dixon grounds out, was just thrown out by a step on a nice play from Eagles second baseman Drake Peggs. And then Brandon Fryman pops out to the catcher in fair territory. Tristan Weedra's day is done as he allows a solo home run here in the 8th to Jordan Peterson, and then a sharp hit single from Jeremy Stidham. There will be another pitching change for the Samford Bulldogs here in the 8th. We'll take a quick break. Eastern Michigan back in front 4-3. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go.
Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan, king of jungle.
I know you wanted to.
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Fourth pitcher of the day for the Samford Bulldogs, number 39, Hamp Skinner. The freshman lefty out of the bullpen. It's his 4th appearance of the season. He's thrown just an inning and a third so far and has allowed 2 runs on 2 hits with a couple of walks and a strikeout. Here he's inheriting a runner at first base with nobody out in the 8th inning. It's a lefty-on-lefty matchup as Zach Owings steps to the plate for Eastern Michigan. And Skinner throws one in the dirt. Well blocked by Anthony Mulrine behind home plate. Skinner has gotten very little action out of the bullpen. And that one is over the head of Mulrine to the backstop, and Stidman coasting into second base on the wild pitch. Owings just one of 3 lefty batters in this lineup for Eastern Michigan. And that one skips in the dirt too, and Hamp Skinner having some major control issues right out of the gate. 3-0, nothing close to the strike zone. Skipped a couple in the dirt and threw one over Mulrine's head to the backstop. So behind 3-0 here, and that's low and inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk, 4 easy takes. So Skinner comes in, does not help himself for the situation out at all with that first batter faced. And shortstop Max Schumann steps to the plate. Another brief conference at the mound. after Skinner issues a 4-pitch walk. And that's going to do it for Skinner. He came in to face the lefty and did not get the job done. A 4-pitch walk, 4 easy takes. Skinner's day is done. Faces one batter and issues a walk. His 3rd walk of the season in just 1 1/3 innings pitched. So another pitching change. Eastern Michigan threatening to score more. They already lead 4-3. We'll take a quick break and be back to resume the top half of the 8th inning. 4-3 in favor of the Eagles. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network. Fifth pitcher of the day now for Samford is Jack Rude, sophomore right-hander. This will be the 6th appearance for Rude in 4 innings. He's allowed 2 earned runs on 4 hits, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts allowed. So Samford coach Casey Dunn brought in Hamp Skinner for the lefty-on-lefty matchup against Zachary Owings. Did not work out like he had planned, as Hamp Skinner, very wild, throws a 4-pitch walk to Owings, 3 balls in the dirt and 1 to the backstop on a wild pitch. And so Skinner throws 4 pitches and his day is done. And Jack Rude now in to try to limit the damage. Eastern Michigan on top of Samford 4-3. Jordan Peterson led off the inning with a home run against Tristan Wedra before Jeremy Stidham hit a hard line drive in the left for a base hit. That ended the day for Wedra. Skinner, as I said, it comes in, issues a 4-pitch walk to Owings, and now Max Schumann. It will not be Max Schumann, as we have a pinch hitter. Brennan Williams, who was the designated hitter yesterday for the Eagles, will hit in place of Schumann. Yesterday, Williams went over 3 with a strikeout. Today, he's first at bat is coming with a runner in scoring position. He hits one hard over Troy Dixon's head at second base, and now they will hold Stidham at third base, but Eastern Michigan has the bases loaded. Aggressive approach right out of the gate from Brennan Williams. Lines a hard hit line drive over the head of second baseman Troy Dixon into right field.
Second baseman Drake Peggs.
That ball was hit so hard and got to Fusey so quickly that Eastern Michigan really had no choice but to hold Owings at third base. Fusey already was fielding that ball on right by the time that Owings was hitting the third base bag. So Drake Peggs now is up with the bases loaded, and he skies one into right. It will be caught. It should get a run home. Dixon catches. He will throw to second smartly to not let Williams take that extra 90 feet. So it's a sacrifice fly from Drake Peggs to bring in another run for Eastern Michigan, and they lead 5-3. Dixon with the smart play there. He knows he's not going to have a close play at home plate. Elects to throw to second and not let all 3 runners advance. If he tries to throw to second or third, then Brennan Williams is also going to tag up and take second in that situation. Drake Lubin, the 9-hole hitter, up now. Still just 1 out for the Eagles and runners on the corner. And now, with runners on the corners, their lead up to 2 runs, 5-3. Zachary Owings at third base. Brennan Williams at first. Drake Lubin at the plate. He's 1 for 3. He knocked in a run in the second, the first run of the game for Eastern Michigan. Here, trying to carve out a couple insurance runs. Rude checks on Williams over at first base and very nearly threw the ball away. That would have brought in another run, and Mulrine going to go out and have a quick word with Jack Rude. Samford has only lost 2 home contests this season. Their first series of the year against UNC Asheville, they won the first 2 games and lost the Sunday matinee. Against Indiana, they lost the opener, but then rebounded to win Saturday and Sunday and take the series. And then last week they swept Eastern Illinois. Rude steps off the mound, thought about checking on Owings over at third base, elected not to. Also looked Williams back at first. Drake Lubin looking for his second RBI of the contest. Still only 1 out. 1-0 pitch to Lubin in the dirt. It's 2-0. Samford's bullpen struggling with command a little bit. Brasher faced 1 batter in the 6th. Weidra had a good 7th inning with 1 hit allowed but a couple of strikeouts. But then a home run and a base hit against Weidra to start this 8th. A 4-pitch walk from Hamp Skinner. Now Jack Rude allows a base hit before the sacrifice fly. That one is off the plate, and Rude is behind 3-0 against Drake Lubin. And just like that, Eastern Michigan is in danger of loading the bases again here in the 8th inning with just 1 retired. .3-0 pitch from Rude. Off the plate, and that's a 4-pitch walk from Jack Rude to Drake Lubin. Now we hear some noise from the Eastern Michigan dugout. They've not had a whole lot to cheer about this weekend, but feeling pretty good right now on this Sunday afternoon. Desperate for a win are the Eagles. Just 3-15 on the season. They've played a lot of close games. They've had a lot of tough, heartbreaking losses. Trying to hang on today here on this Sunday afternoon at Joe Lee Griffin Field. Mike Metashevsky, the leadoff hitter, back to the plate for the 5th time today. He's got the bases loaded and nobody out. Swings and pops one up. This is going to be shallow center. Dixon coming in, making the catch. Tagging is Owings. Throw way offline to the backstop, and all 3 runners will advance. So Owings comes in to score on a sacrifice fly. The second sac fly hit into center this inning. First RBI of the day for Metashevsky.
Third baseman, Marquise Gill.
Dixon was in shallow center. Thought he might have a play at home that time against Owings, but throw way offline. Gets to the backstop, and so Brennan Williams and Drake Lubin both advance as well. Marquise Gill takes a ball in the dirt. Gill's had a good day at the plate. He's just 1 for 3, but he's reached base 3 times. He reached on a walk in the 1st, on an error in the 3rd, and singled in the 5th before striking out in the 7th. He also has a couple stolen bases and was also caught stealing once. Hits this one on the ground. Fryman's got it. Sets, throws across the diamond to Edens. Ball in the dirt, but scooped out nicely by Edens to retire the side. But the damage done in the top half of the 8th from the Eastern Michigan Eagles. They add 3 runs to jump out to a 6-3 lead. Samford's got 6 outs to play with. Their offense has some work to do. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 8th. Eastern Michigan leading 6-3. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
I think we should have taken a left at the river.
Tarzan, no. Where Tarzan go?
Tarzan does not know where Tarzan go.
Hey, excuse me, do you know where the waterfall is? Waterfall?
No. Me, Tarzan, king of jungle.
Why don't you want to just
If you're a couple, you fight over directions. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
You have to do that right in my ear.
Mandy Burford's Samford softball squad in action in the 4th game of the UT Martin Classic. They are headed to the 7th inning, and they are currently in a 2-2 deadlock. Samford 2, UT Martin 2, heading to the 7th inning in the UT Martin Classic. If Samford can pull out a win there, it'll be a 4-game tournament sweep for Mandy Burford's softball squad. It would be much needed. They've struggled to accumulate some wins in the early going. But 3-0 in the tournament, looking to make it a perfect 4-0 if they can find a way to defeat UT Martin this afternoon. Kevin Williams ahead in the count, 2-0 against Jones Harness, who returns here in the 8th inning. Pitched 2/3 of an inning in the 7th in relief of Brent Matson. And now he's got some room to play with a 3-run lead, but falls behind Williams 3-0. There he does deliver a strike. Last thing you want to do with a 3-run lead is come out and issue some free passes and put some free runners on base. And there's a big swing and a miss from Kevin Williams. Williams has 1 hit to his name today. He's 1 for 3. He's homered in the previous 2 games of this series. Hit a monster shot in the left on Friday night. Added another home run yesterday. 8 home runs on the season for Kevin Williams Jr. Swings and fouls one back out of play. Look out, a couple fans behind our press box did not see that coming, and that was pretty close to, I think, hitting someone, maybe missed by a foot or so. Thankfully, did not. Full count to Kevin Williams. He's going to take a called 3rd strike to start the bottom half of the 8th. Austin Edens 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. Samford needs some base runners right now, down 3. The Eagles clawed out 3 runs in the top half of the inning. One right now to Austin Edens, the cleanup hitter. He's also had a strong series so far for the Samford Bulldogs. 3 for 9 with a couple of walks, a home run, a double, a couple runs driven in this weekend for Austin Edens. He is behind in the count against Jones Harness, 1-2 right now. He's a big swing and fouls one out of play over towards the Pete Hanna Center. That one might be on the Pete Hanna roof, joining a collection of other balls up there. Samford just looking for some base runners here as Edens fouls another one out of play into the bushes. Samford baseball after this back in action with a couple of midweek games against another in-state team, the Troy Trojans. This one hit sharply on the ground. Gill to his left, snags it, throws, and retires Edens. A nice play from Marquise Gill at the hot corner, and 2 away here for Samford in the bottom of the 8th. Troy Dixon steps to the plate with 2 outs here in the 8th inning.
Second baseman, Troy Dixon.
Troy 0 for 3. The Dixon brothers, TJ and Troy combined, 0 for 6 today. Fouls one, backing out of play. Troy's last at bat was just a little dribbler just in front of home plate that went as a 2-1 putout. Troy did not run. He thought that that ball was foul and remained in the batter's box. It was not foul. It was a fair ball. So he was retired on the 2-1 putout. This one is skied into foul territory on the left side. A long run, and almost coming away with an acrobatic catch was Marquise Gill. He can't quite corral that ball, so Troy Dixon will stay alive to see another pitch. 6 runs on 10 hits for Eastern Michigan with 1 error. For Samford, 3 runs on 5 hits and an error. So after the offensive explosion yesterday, the bat's much quieter today as this one is hit high and foul back our way. Fans behind us need to be aware that balls will be hit back there. We've got some fans walking behind the press box. 0-2 pitch to Dixon, outside for ball 1. Mentioned the 2-1 ground out for Dixon, also flew out a couple times to left and to center. And he pops this one into shallow center. Running in is Lubin, and making the catch in shallow left center is Drake Lubin. So 3 up and 3 down for Samford in the 8th. We will head to the 9th. Eastern Michigan looking for their 4th win of the season. They lead Samford 6-3. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
If you're entering a Division I college or university on or after August 1st of 2016, there are some new academic requirements you need to know.
First, you have to graduate high school within 4 consecutive years from the start of 9th grade. And in those 4 years, you have to pass 16 core courses.
Next, your 16 core courses must be taken in a specific area of study at a specific time during high school.
Your 16 core courses will determine your core GPA, which must be 2.3 or higher to be eligible to practice, compete, or receive an athletic scholarship during your freshman year in college.
10 of those 16 have to be taken before your 7th semester. Those 10 courses are locked in, meaning you can't retake them to improve your GPA.
You must also earn a combined ACT and SAT score that matches your core course GPA on the Division I sliding scale.
It's important to build a team that you can depend on for guidance and support. So go talk to your guidance counselor and ask them to join your team.
We all were in your shoes just a few years ago, so we know what it takes to become a Division I student athlete.
But more importantly, we know what it means to make our dreams become a reality. You can too.
John McAfoo's back here at Joe Lee Griffin Field. Eastern Michigan leading Samford 6-3. Samford will bring in its 6th pitcher of this Sunday afternoon. It's number 10, Tanner Cunningham, the senior righty, making his 7th appearance of the season. 7 2/3 innings pitched for Cunningham. 5 runs allowed, but only 2 earned runs in that 7 2/3 innings. 8 hits, 4 walks, and make that 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. A .250 opponent's batting average against. So Tanner Cunningham comes in. He's got one job. That's to try to get through a quick 9th inning, get his team back into the dugout, and hope the offense can score a couple runs in the bottom half of the inning to either tie or go home victorious. They've got some work to do, but first, Tanner Cunningham has to record a few outs in the top half of the inning. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hole hitters for Eastern Michigan. The guys with the power for this Eagles lineup: Montgomery, Peterson, Stidham. Montgomery just 1 for 4 today, but he homered yesterday. The 2 guys to follow, Peterson and Stidham, have both hit home runs today. And first pitch, rolling on one is Montgomery. Edens will field an underhand to Cunningham at first base. And so 1 pitch, 1 out. A good start for Tanner Cunningham in the 9th inning. Peterson, 2 for 4. His home run came to lead off the 8th inning. Right now that stands as the game-winning run. It was 3-3 when he hit that. That put him up 4-3. They added a couple more runs on top of that for some insurance. But right now it's Peterson's home run that stands as the game winner. Samford may have something to say about that in the bottom half of the 9th. Cunningham, 2 outs to get through before they worry about scoring a couple runs in the bottom half of the inning. And Cunningham ahead right now of Peterson, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Cunningham in the dirt, ball 1. Peterson grounded out to short in the first, singled in the third, popped out to second in the 5th and then hit that solo home run against Tristan Wedra to lead off the 8th. 1-2 pitch, slapped into right field. Going opposite field is Jordan Peterson. Fusey gets to it, but coasting in with a stand-up double is Jordan Peterson. His 3rd hit of the day, just a triple shy of the cycle as he's got a single double and home run to his name now. So a 3-hit day for Jordan Peterson. Jeremy Stidham, the man at the plate right now, has also got a multi-hit game. He's 2 for 4 with a couple of runs and an RBI. He had a solo home run back in the 6th. Jordan Peterson in this series was just 2 for 7 entering today. Now 5 for 12 this weekend. So a good series for Jordan Peterson, helped out by a big game in this series finale. He stands at second base with 1 out. Jeremy Stidham and a 1-0 count. Puts a drive into one, deep center, and that ball is well out of here. Jeremy Stidham, his 2nd home run of the game. Jordan Peterson at second base took about 2 steps and just sat there and watched it instead of running. That ball was absolutely smoked. And so it's been a power show for Eastern Michigan today. They have 3 home runs on the day. That almost equals their season total as a team coming into today. And Jeremy Stidham, who did not have a long ball all season, has 2 of them today. So a couple more runs for Eastern Michigan. It's now 8-3. That's going to do it for Tanner Cunningham today. It'll be another new pitcher for Samford, number 7 on the day. Eastern Michigan looking to get out of here with a win and avoid the sweep. It would be their 4th win of the season. They lead Samford 8-3 in the top half of the 9th. We'll be back to talk about the new Samford pitcher. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
At Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers, we believe in service.
Maintenance service, tire service, repair service,
and most importantly, customer service.
We believe in treating our customers with respect and integrity while offering all the services you need for your car.
Most of all, at Express Oil Change and Tire Engineers,
we believe in keeping cars on the road, keeping families safe,
and keeping you coming back whenever the need arises.
Canadian bacon, Italian sausage, Spanish olives. It's like having the whole world in your hands and then in your mouth.
Order the Works Pizza or any large pizza for just $12. That's right, just $12 for any large pizza. Order now at papajohns.com.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
7th pitcher of this Sunday afternoon for the Samford Bulldogs. And it is junior righty Josh Rich, who's making his 7th appearance of the season for the Bulldogs, all in relief. 5 innings pitched, and he's given up 4 runs, 3 earned on 7 hits, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Still have 2 outs to go before Samford will try to rally in the bottom half of the 9th. That challenge just got a whole lot harder with Jeremy Stidham hitting his 2nd deep ball of the game, a 2-run shot to give the Eagles a 8-3 lead, a 5-run lead. Game was very closely played until the 8th. It was tied at 3 at that point. It was a big swing and a miss from Owings. But a 3 spot in the 8th for the Eagles put them up 6-3, and they've added 2 more here in the top of the 9th. Swung on and missed. Foul tipped into the glove from Owings. 2 away here now in the 9th. So Josh Rich strikes out the first batter that he sees.
Now batting, Devin Hager.
7 pitchers in all for the Samford Bulldogs, as we have another pinch hitter here for Eastern Michigan, number 23, Devin Hager. He started the first 2 games of this series over at third base. One for 4 in the series. This guy's 1 foul out of play. For Samford, it was Stephen Jones that started, and since then it's been Jared Brasher, Tristan Wedra, Hamp Skinner, Jack Rude, Tanner Cunningham, and now Josh Rich. This one hit sharply through the left side of the infield, and it's a base hit for Hager. So Hager comes off the bench in a pinch hit appearance and promptly hits a sharp ground ball into left field.
Second baseman Drake Hayes.
The hits mounting for Eastern Michigan. 13 hits. 8 runs on 13 hits and an error. Drake Peggs had a sacrifice fly his last time. This ball scoots away. It's a swing and a miss, but scoots away from Mulrine. And Hager will advance down to second base. Swing and a miss from Peggs. Mulrine will have to throw down as he couldn't catch it, but it is a strikeout to end the inning of Drake Peggs. So Samford will come to the plate in the bottom of the 9th. They give up a couple more runs off the second home run of the day for Jeremy Stidham. They've got a lot of work to do. 5 to tie. They've got 3 outs to do it. We will head to the bottom of the 9th. 8-3, Eastern Michigan leads. You're watching Samford Baseball on YouTube Live, presented by the Samford Sports Network.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. Regions, every day is game day.
Meet Pete and Paul, twins so much alike, friends call them Pete and Repeat. But Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama treats them as individuals. Each gets a health insurance plan designed to meet his specific needs. One is a self-employed entrepreneur, the other working for a large company. After all, no 2 customers are alike, especially in Alabama. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama. We cover what matters. Find out how we can cover you.
Bottom of the 9th inning at Joe Lee Griffin Field. Samford down to its final 3 outs. And they'll start with a pinch hitter. Sam Teague will lead off here for the Bulldogs. It's been a quiet day for the Bulldogs offense, especially compared to yesterday. Yesterday they pounded out 13 runs today, or 13 hits rather, to score 7 runs. Today, just 3 runs on only 5 hits. Jordan Fusey, the only Bulldog with a multi-hit game. He's reached base 3 times, 2 for 2 with a walk. And he is in the on-deck circle. But first, Sam Teague hitting for Anthony Mulrine. Count 1-1 as Teague takes a strike. Teague hits this one into right center. That's going to roll to the wall or near the wall, and Teague will easily coast into second base with a leadoff double. So for Samford, They got a lot of work to do, but they'll take some runners any way they can get them, and Sam Teague starts it off by roping a line drive into right center, and he's aboard with a leadoff double. And so here is Jordan Fusey, the man who's reached base all 3 plate appearances today, singled in the second, hit an infield single in the 5th and would score a run, and then walked and scored in the 7th. So he's reached base 3 times. He's also scored 2 of the 3 Bulldog runs. Fusey ahead 1-0, make it 2-0. It's still Jones Harness out on the mound for the Eagles. Harness came in with 1 out in the 7th inning and has remained in since that point. Fusey takes a strike. He's only the 2nd pitcher for Eastern Michigan. 2 pitchers for the Eagles, 7 for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs bullpen has not gotten the job done this afternoon. This one is skied out to left center. On the run at the wall, making the catch is Metashevsky. So the ball was well hit, but tracked down well and left by Metashevsky, and Teague will have no choice but to remain at second base. So Ryan Crockett with 1 out now and Teague at second base. Crockett steps to the plate. He's reached base a couple of times. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored and a walk. Looking to extend this inning and the game as long as possible is this Samford Bulldogs offense. One and 0 to Crockett. That one in there for a called strike. Jones Harness currently in line to earn the victory. Tristan Wedra right now on the hook for the loss for the Bulldogs. This one's popped very high in the air, but playable. Peterson out and right, camps under it, makes the catch. Teague will not tag up. He'll remain at second, and so Teague has the leadoff double, but a couple of flyouts, and now Samford down to its final out here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. It'll be up to Taylor Garris to try to extend this game.
Third baseman Taylor Garris.
Samford softball not able to quite finish off a tournament sweep. They fell in their second game of today's doubleheader 3-2 as UT Martin walked off in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Still a good week for Mandy Burford and the Samford softball team as they took 3 out of 4 games in the UT Martin Classic. No complaints there for her or her squad. Obviously would have liked to have all 4, but 3 out of 4, pretty good weekend. A couple much-needed wins for the Samford softball team. Taylor Garris with a 1-0 count, trying to extend this game as long as he possibly can. And that one's in there for a strike, making the count 1-1. Harness sets and delivers the 1-1 pitch outside for ball 2. James Harness, just a freshman, has pitched pretty well for the Eagles here this afternoon. He's from Huber Heights, Ohio, as this ball is skied very high. Should be playable. Gill in foul territory and makes the catch, and that'll do it for this Sunday afternoon game. Eastern Michigan does salvage one game. Samford unable to complete the home sweep. A final score of 8-3 in favor of the Eagles. 8 runs on 13 hits for Eastern Michigan with 1 error. For Samford, 3 runs on 6 hits with an error. It is James Harness, the freshman righty, who earns the win for the Eagles on the mound. Tristan Wedra will take the loss. We will take a quick break here and then be back with our Coca-Cola post-game wrap-up. Final score here, Joe Lee Griffin Field, Eastern Michigan 8, Samford 3. You're watching Samford Baseball on the Samford Sports Network.
The road to Omaha begins in Greenville, South Carolina. The Southern Conference Baseball Tournament comes to Fluor Field May 23rd through 28th. Enjoy some great college baseball with a trip to the NCAA's on the line in a city the New York Times calls one of the top places to go in 2017. Get your tickets to the tournament and book your rooms in that Greenville today. Experience the games. Explore the city.
Back at Joe Lee Griffin Field, we have a final score. Eastern Michigan wins the final game of this series over Samford by a score of 8-3. For Eastern Michigan, a little bit of a power show today. 3 home runs. They had only hit 4 as a team all season coming into today's game. The middle of the order, the 4 and 5 spots in the lineup, providing most of the offense for the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Jordan Peterson in the cleanup spot, 3 for 5 with a home run. And Jeremy Stidham, who is catching today, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. Peterson also hit a double. Montgomery, 1 for 5 with a run driven in. Gill reached base 3 different times with a walk, an error, and a single. On the mound, Brent Matson, 6 1/3 innings pitched with 3 runs allowed, all earned on 4 hits, 5 walks, and a couple of strikeouts. He earns a no decision. It's freshman James Harness who earns the win after going 2 2/3 and allowing no runs and 2 hits and no walks with 1 strikeout. For Samford, the offense not quite as efficient as it was yesterday when they pounded out 13 hits. They've got 6 hits in this Sunday series finale. Jordan Fusey, the only Bulldog with multiple hits. He reached base 3 times. He was 2 for 3 and scored 2 of the 3 Bulldog runs. Williams, Teague, Crockett, and Garris also each notch a hit. A double from Teague in the 9th inning was the only extra base hit of the game for the Samford Bulldogs. And on the mound, Samford ran through seven different pitchers this afternoon. Stephen Jones started and took a no decision. He ended up with a pretty decent line, 5 2/3 innings. He allowed 3 runs, only 2 earned on 6 hits, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. And then Brasher came in, finished the 6th inning. And then after that, they ran through Tristan Wedra and Hamp Skinner, Jack Rude, Tanner Cunningham, Josh Rich. Wedra ends up taking the loss after he had a quick 7th inning. He ran into some trouble in the 8th and allowed a leadoff homer that ended up being the difference. So Tristan Wedra takes the loss. His record falls to 1-2 after allowing 2 runs on 3 hits in 1 inning. Hamp Skinner faced just 1 batter and issued a 4-pitch walk. Jack Rude, 1 inning pitched. Cunningham allowed 2 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning, and then Josh Rich pitch the final 2/3 of the inning. So Samford sees their home win streak end at 5 games, sees their overall winning streak end at 3 games. Unable to complete the sweep of Eastern Michigan, but does win the series 2-1. They have won each of their 4 home series this season. So Samford baseball will be back in action this week against Troy. They'll play a home-and-home series. They'll travel to Troy on Tuesday night, and they will be back here at Joe Lee Griffin Field to host Troy on Wednesday. That Wednesday game, of course, will be able to be seen right here on YouTube Live, presented by the Samford Sports Network. Remember, for updates on all 17 Bulldogs teams, you can follow us online. It's Samford University Athletics on Facebook, Samford_sports on Twitter, and the official online home for your Samford Bulldogs is SamfordSports.com. I'd like to thank our crew today. Matt Waters out there running camera. Matt, special thanks to him for sticking around for spring break and helping me out when we were very shorthanded on students. Mike Grace, our assistant AD of broadcast service and marketing, and of course Zach Schreiber of the sports info department, who is our baseball SID. Final score here at Joe Lee Griffin Field: Eastern Michigan 8, Samford 3. Until next time, for God, for learning forever, for Samford University, I'm John McAfoose saying thank you for joining us and reminding you that together we are Samford Strong.